Hey guys, I got a question for you. What happens when a company drops a new generation or new design of a previous gun and doesn't quantify it as a Gen 2? Well, you get a confusion kind of like the new Ruger Max series. This is the original Max-9, very reminiscent of what you're used to seeing. This is the brand new version of the Max-9, and for the purposes of this video, I'm going to call it the Gen 2. So stay tuned and we'll get into more detail. Hey heathens, it's Gun Deity, and this week I got something interesting for you. You may have watched my video a couple weeks ago about the Ruger Max-9, the newest version of the Ruger Max-9. Well, I reached out to a buddy of mine who has the original version of the Max-9, and I figured I'd come out and do a quick comparison of the two, see what you guys think. So like I said, this week we have the original Ruger Max-9 versus the Ruger Max-9, I'm going to call it Gen 2. Very interesting guns, very similar guns, but some minor design changes. Let's get into that in close-up detail. So starting out at the front, you can notice the original has fiber optic night sight here. The second gen just has a single white dot, nothing crazy. Moving on across the front, you'll notice that the slide serrations are different in each of these guns. You have more of a straight, deep slide serration here, while you have more of a fish scale slide serration here, which, you know, these ones aren't bad. But tell you the truth, I think I like the Gen 2s just a little bit better because they're a little deeper, a little bit more aggressive. Moving on across the slide, they are both optics ready, both for that RMSC footprint, Ruger Ready Dot footprint. I will say that the Ruger Max-9 Gen 1 is a co-witnessable size sight picture. As you can see, the sights are much higher than the Gen 2s. So unless you got an optic like this one, Cylee Cat G Pro, where it has a channel cut into it, you won't really be able to see your iron sights through the optic. So just something to point out. Now, this one is fitted with the Ruger Ready Dot. This one is fitted with a Cylee Cat G Pro. They're similar-ish optics. This is much more budget-friendly. And doesn't require a battery. If you guys haven't heard about that one, it uses a fiber optic cable to emit the red dot. This one is pretty much a standard dot. This is got a battery, so it is battery operated and emits a red dot onto the screen. Now this is a green dot, not a red dot, but it's for purposes of this video, it's much easier to call it just a red dot. Now, moving on across, you'll notice some slide differences on these two guns. You'll notice on the Gen 1, it's more of a curved rear end, while on the Gen 2, it's more of a straight rear end, very reminiscent of pretty much every other striker fire pistol out there. Just interesting that they made some slide changes as well. Moving on down, they are identical in the frames though. They are virtually the exact same frame, virtually the exact same trigger. Let's go ahead and check out the triggers just to see. But, of course, she is clear. All right, we're going to go ahead and check out this trigger. We got a little bit of take up to get to a wall, a little bit of creep through that wall, and then a clean break. Let's go ahead and see that reset. A little bit on the longer side, but you're right back on that wall. A little bit of creep, and then the break. All right, now we're going to check out the Gen 2s. Of course, we are clear. A little bit of take up to get to that wall. Tiny bit of creep, and then the break. Let's go ahead and see that reset. Yeah. Right on the wall and the break. Yeah, they're the exact same trigger. So anyone saying that one trigger is better than the other, it's probably because they shot one more than the other. Virtually, they are the same trigger. I'm pretty sure they use the exact same internals. One major difference that they did between these two is the finishes. This one uses a black oxide while this one uses a black nitride finish. This one is very reminiscent of like your Glock finish, where they use that nitride finish, or your Smith & Wesson finish. So it's going to be a nice, strong, sturdy finish. What I've heard with the Oxide finish is over time it wears down really bad and it gets scratched very easily. So it's interesting that they went with the nitride finish on the cheaper version. This guy is much cheaper than this guy. We are talking an MSRP of $299. I believe the MSRP of this guy is like right around $319 or $350, somewhere in there. So yeah, it is pretty significant price change between the two. Now, my question is there much of a difference in shooting the two guns? Like I said, we do have two different optics on there, so it's not the most one-to-one comparison, but I just want to see if the recoil impulse or anything else is different on the guns. Me personally, I really do like my Gen 2. My buddy really likes his Gen 1. So, is there a better version? We're going to go ahead and put some rounds through these guys and check it out. All right, guys, we got both of these guys loaded up and ready to go. Well, a couple things I forgot to mention is both run a 12-round magazine with that little grip extension. The original comes with 2 magazines, a 10-rounder and a 12. The budget-friendly one, the Gen 2, comes with only 1 magazine. So, interesting things to point out. But the other thing that I did not point out is the fact that the Gen 2 has a manual safety. The Gen 1 does not. Very interesting. But let's go ahead and put a couple rounds through these guys and see what you guys think. We're going to start with the Gen 1 here. Like I said, we are using the Ruger Ready Dot. This red dot is designed specifically for the Ruger Max-9, and it's designed to automatically zero, so you don't have to do any adjustments with your set screws or anything like that. You just mount it and forget it. Negative side about this Ready Dot is in dark environments, it doesn't work. It's a fiber optic cable, so you have to have a little bit more bright settings than you would like to need. But let's go ahead and put a couple rounds on this steel target and just see what I think of the recoil impulse on this guy. Oh, I forgot ears. All right, guys, don't forget your ears. Yeah, that is yeah, don't forget your ears. But let's go ahead and get a couple rounds on this target and see what I think about this guy. Oop. I have a lock open on the slide. Does not look like the... Okay, I might have hit the slide stop. I'm not sure. It's pretty gated, so I don't think I would have hit that. But it's interesting that it did stop. I'm going to try to keep my thumbs far away from it and see if we have any failures, more failures like that. Okay, lock open to empty mag. Interesting that it did lock open. I think I might have nicked it, but I'm not sure. There, like I said, there's a pretty large gate around there, so I'm not sure how I would have hit that with my thumb, but interesting. I will say, I don't feel as accurate as I do with mine, but let's go ahead and put mine through the ringer and see if same thing goes here. Okay, so I definitely feel more accurate with my Gen 2. I don't think it's anything in particular to the gun. I think it might be more on the lines of the red dots. I'm not a huge fan of the sight picture of that Ruger Ready Dot. It's got a very blue tinted glass and a gigantic red dot. You probably can't see it on camera, but it is ridiculous. This is very blue, very large red dot. So, it's probably just me. It has probably little to do with the gun. But one thing I will say is it is kind of nice that the Gen 2 has that safety on there, because my thumb rides right on top of that safety. So I have something to purchase my my main thumb on to kind of get a better grip on the gun. While on the Gen 1, there's nothing here, so I just kind of have to run my thumb over here, or I end up running my thumb right here, and that's probably why I hit that slide release, or that slide stop. Very interesting. Something to point out, something to let you guys know about. But let's go ahead and put some more rounds on this guy and just see what we can do. So we're going to pump up a couple more rounds into the steel target, just see how they feel as I'm shooting them, and give you my honest opinion of these two. We're going to start with the Gen 1 yet again, and just put a couple rounds on this steel target. Okay, first opinion. The red dot is not automatically zeroing as I'm shooting. I will tell you that much. When I'm aiming with the sights to hit center mass of that steel target, the red dot is actually sitting just over the what would be your right shoulder. So yeah, the red dot's off to the right and a little high. When I'm trying to aim the red dot on there, I'm missing completely. So very interesting that this is supposed to be self-zeroing red dot, and on the gun that it's designed for, it is not a self-zeroing red dot. Very interesting opinion. Let's go ahead and put a couple more rounds on the Gen 1 with this Cylee. I am in love with this Cylee optic. Like I said in my previous video, this is an optic that my wife won at SHOT Show. Very interesting optic from Cylee, and I'm really liking it. It's got a very small, I think it's a 3 MOA red dot, or green dot. Very compact optic with a large window. That window is massive. All right, guys, so the last time I was out, someone complained that I wasn't doing enough accuracy testing to give an honest opinion. So we're going to do a little bit of accuracy testing right here on these plates that I have set up. They're just styrofoam plates that are spray painted yellow, nothing fancy. But we're going to do a little bit of speed shooting, not crazy, but decent speed on these targets, and see if there's a little bit of a accuracy differential between the two. This time I'm going to start with the Gen 2, just because I want to give the Gen 1 every advantage I can, because I seem to be shooting the Gen 2 just a little bit better. So let's go ahead and we're going to start on that bottom plate for the Gen 2, and just see if we can put some rounds on target pretty quick. Ready? Let's go. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the 12 shots on the plate in a pretty rapid succession. So, not bad accuracy, 10 out of 12. Let's go ahead and put a few rounds with the Gen 1 and see if that changes anything. We're going to use the sights on this guy because the red dot is piss poor. Ready? Let's go. All right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So about the same accuracy. Not sure if you guys can hear me from there, but about the same accuracy. This one is the Gen 2's accuracy. This one is the Gen 1's, this one's the Gen 2. This one's the Gen 1 accuracy. Very interesting comparison. I kind of hugged the left side of this plate and kind of hugged about center mass of this plate, roughly. Very interesting comparison of the two, especially since I felt like I couldn't shoot the Gen 1 very well at all. That's a reasonable target placement for rapid shooting. I can't complain about that. Guys, like I said, I'm trying to advance this channel as much as I can. So if you have any critiques or any opinions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. I promise I read them. I may not reply to all of them, but I do read them. And I got this idea from one of the guys on my last video. He said, put some plates out. So that's what we did. We put some plates out. It shows a pretty decent accuracy compared to just a steel target. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. All right, guys, what is my final-ish first thoughts of the Gen 1 versus the Gen 2? I think aesthetically, I like the Gen 2 better. The price point's better, and overall, I like this one just a little bit better than the Gen 1. But if you already have a Gen 1, I don't think there's a reason to go out and buy the Gen 2 unless you really just want another gun, another concealed carry gun, or maybe something cheap that you're not worried about if, I don't know, it gets damaged or confiscated or stolen, anything like that. Maybe that's the reason to go with the Gen 2 over the Gen 1 if you already have the Gen 1. But if you don't already have them, I recommend the Gen 2. The only negative side with the Gen 2 is they are really hard to get your hands on right now. Ruger dropped them about, a month ago roughly, and they've been on an allocation list since. The shop that I get mine from got a few of them and hasn't been able to get any since. So they're really hard to get your hands on. Yes, they are super budget friendly, but budget friendly doesn't mean anything if you can't get your hands on it, right? Well, the original Max-9, you can get pretty much anywhere. Almost everyone has them, or you can order them online. So that's the biggest differences. Now, differences between the red dots. I do not like the Ready Dot. I've tried it on my Shield Plus. Now I've tried my buddies on his Ruger Max-9, and I still don't think it's worth the $80 that they're running now. I'm not impressed. That's my personal opinion. That's 2, maybe 3 different guns I've tried the Ready Dot on, and they've all failed on me, in my opinion. The Cylee, though, this is a great little optic. Definitely something you should check out. I'm going to leave a link in the description below if you guys want to check out one of these Cylee optics. I really like this guy. It's a really nice little optic. It's not exactly budget friendly, but it's not exactly expensive either. But I do really like it, and I think the window is nice and large, clear, and that green dot is very crisp and tiny. Very nice for a budget concealed carry gun. But that's my quick opinions on these two guys. I think they're very similar in almost every aspect, except for cosmetically mainly. I do like that manual safety because it gives me somewhere to put my thumb for a little bit of a rest or a break away from that slide stop. As you saw with this guy, I did accidentally hit that slide stop. So it is kind of nice to have something to pull your thumb away from. But other than that, they're too similar to really say one's better than the other. Is this one worth the $50 to $100 more than this guy? I don't know. I mean, you get a second magazine, which is a plus, but the magazines are only like 20 or 30 bucks. So realistically, I don't know. I don't like the finish that's on this guy, but I do like the sights. If they put the sights on this guy, I think this guy would be a hands over winner. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think in the comment section? Let me know. Have you tried the Gen 2? Have you even seen one? And if you have tried the Gen 1, let me know what you guys think. I do know that the Gen 1s were having some issues with breaking firing pins. I don't know if they fixed it in the Gen 2. Honestly, I only have a few hundred rounds through this guy. Not enough to tell me if that's a fixed issue or not. So guys, if I have those issues, I will definitely have a update video in the future letting you guys know. But so far, I haven't had any issues with this one, and my buddy hasn't had any issues with his. So they're both great guns, both great concealed carries. Definitely something you should check out if you ever get a chance. All right, guys, if you liked that video, go ahead and hit like. Comment in the comment section if you've tried the Max-9 and what you guys think of it. Whether you've tried the Gen 1, Gen 2, or both, let me know what you think. Also, if you haven't checked out the website yet, go ahead and check out gundeity.com, where we have all kinds of really cool merch. We have hats. We got shirts, just like this, a veteran shirt that I'm wearing today, or this Anubis hat that I'm wearing today. We have all kinds of fun stuff. Also some 2A stuff that I can't post on this website is there as well. If you guys haven't checked out the other socials, I definitely have a couple different socials for you to check out. We have X and Instagram. Both are at Gun Deity. I will post them down in the description below. Check them out, and that's where I post a lot of the behind the scenes and a lot of a little interesting tidbits and some deals that you guys can get are always in those two socials. Also, if you guys haven't checked out the Rumble, go ahead and check out the Rumble. It's going to be linked in the description below. That channel is I'm trying to grow that one a little bit because they're a little bit more freeing to what we can do on that platform comparative to YouTube, unfortunately. So guys, check out Rumble. It's not very big right now, but we will make it bigger in the future. But guys, as always, I'm Gun Deity, and I will see you heathens for the next one.
I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. They call me a